Hello everyone, this is the results video and I'm going to torture you just a little bit here before we jump to it. First things first, I did retune it and I did turn on PT1 and I did turn off the first two notch filters. The motors get pretty warm with a full flight. You know, we're getting weather in the mid 80s, sometimes the upper 80s now, so it's getting quite warm. And the motors were pretty warm. They weren't uncomfortable. I could hold on to them and I wasn't in fear that the motors would burn up. But I did think turning off the D-term notch filter might be a bit much. I did start with the default PIDs that come with the Leader, as Lewis reported to me that they do update the tune that comes with the machine. I also did turn on anti-gravity and dynamic filtering, obviously, and so you'll see in the flight video that we have a lot less prop wash. And I really felt like this tune kind of gave me more precision and more control, and it's a combination of tune and props. You notice that I don't have a receiver, and I'm bringing you this flight in a little bit of a rush. This flight isn't necessarily all that clean. I have a bailout, and I end in a crash when I hit a swing, I think it is. But I'm running out of time, and I didn't want to torture you all more. I have some travel coming up, so I needed to I wanted to get this out so that you guys could receive, whoever the winner is, could receive the Leader. So you're going to see a little bit less than a clean or great flight, but I think it's a pretty fun flight. I think it does show that with updating the beta flight version and retuning a little bit with some new props does enhance it quite a bit. I had a lot of good fun with it again. It was nice to really explore this again. And I've been doing some exploration with other models and these 1104, 1105 motors on the side. You've seen my Ascent X video, and that was running 1105 motors. I still think we have a lot of life there yet that we can get, and there's some efficiency gains by not going with 1107 or even 1108 motors. Those perform really well, but at least in my experience, it means a really short flight time. I can make the battery start to squeal in 25 seconds, maybe even less. You do a couple of quick punch outs and the next thing you know, the battery's hollering at you, so you got to back way off. And that's kind of the reason why I've been exploring 1104 and 1105 again. Oh, and there's also a roll. I can't remember if it's to the left or to the right. I generally go to the right all the time just because that's easier. I do practice to the left, but I don't do a great job with that. I think because of the bailout, I kind of think that, you know, this flight isn't going to make the video, so just fly and have fun. You know, don't worry about stuff. And so I think I do a left roll through the gap in the tree, kind of a Y there near the pergola, and then I end up going left as well, and I end up swooping through the pergola, and then I almost hit the bush kind of at the end of the concrete deck, and then that's all luck, not planned, just out having fun, pull something off. It's not really even clean by any stretch, but I was really surprised that I didn't crash when I watched the DVR back, and probably when I was flying as well. So enjoy the flight. When we get back with the flight, you can skip ahead if you want, but you'll have the flight, and then we'll do the drawing. Oh, a couple other things I thought I'd provide an update for the kind of the diehards that come to the channel. It does look like I'll be building this out. This is the Nidisi or Nidisi. I'm still not certain. I got a few suggestions how to pronounce it. And also one of you said that this is a clone of the iFlight. Or it's called the Race 1 XF3, I think it's called. And when I looked at the picture, sure enough, it looks like a one-to-one copy. So shame on them for doing that, but I think we're still going to build it up and see what kind of fun we can have with this little guy. Something else I didn't bring out in that video, there's a little notch down here. So if you go into the ground, well, I got some dirt falling out of my motors. If we go into the ground, that little notch will help us. It might dig us in, but it'll help protect the bottom area a little bit. You have a little extra protection down there. So we'll build that up. Also, this is the receiver that I had on this one. This is a new receiver from Full Speed. You may have seen them. And I ended up ripping the connector off in one of my crashes. Yet another reason why I need to bring you this video, because I do have a repair to do on that little guy. But this thing weighs almost nothing, and it comes with an antenna lead that's a little bit longer than most that you find on something this short. It's got the connector on here, and then the antenna lead comes out, I'd say about that far. But this is the DSMX version, as you can see possibly there, if the camera will focus. And it works quite well, but I hadn't gotten around to testing the range and things of that nature. I wanted to get 200 or 300 meters out and see if that still worked. But luckily, I have another one, probably the one you're most interested in, the FR Sky version, and I'll be testing that here shortly, hopefully. Many requested that I review the Snapper 7 here, and I do have one, obviously. I had a little bit of trouble with mine. I had to replace the camera. Mine had kind of an image, but I couldn't get more than about 12 feet away from me before that image went to complete snow, so that didn't work, so I had to swap out the camera. That's why you see the bore hole, and you see a little bit different antenna that's normal than what you see in the pictures, but that will be coming. Also the Tiny 8, I've been flying this one around. You might be able to see some dirt on the sides here and whatnot. In short, when this video comes out, I was actually kind of disappointed with its outdoor performance. I thought something this size would perform better outdoors. I don't think this is the version I would recommend. At this time, I haven't flown the Tiny 6 or the Tiny 7 much, but I do have them both, so that stuff will be coming as well. Also have the Froggy. I think this is a 135 from my RC Mart, and I've flown this a little bit, and this is a little bit of a surprising vehicle. I was really surprised to find that it flew as well as it did. It's with these larger props, it's missing on the low end with the torque. That's the thing I can tell you about this right away, but I do think otherwise that the frame looks pretty good. There's a shot of the carbon fiber and how it's run, and I haven't crashed it too much yet. I've only probably got a dozen packs through it. These props aren't necessarily the most efficient props. They are 3-inch props, and I think that's what causes the torque issue. That's an awful lot of prop for these motors to spin up very quickly, and these are 1106. Oh, what's the kV? 5,000 kV. OK Fly. They did a really terrible job of printing on there because you can't hardly see that. That's not much good advertising for them. Also, the pictures come with a run cam on the my RC Mart. Obviously, mine did not come with that, but it does note in the specifications that the run cam is not included. So that's a little bit of a. It feels like a switch and bait and switch, but they do note that in the specifications that it doesn't come with that. But the camera seems to work fine. I don't have any real problems with it. Although I don't believe we can flip the image so that we can rotate the camera upside down, so to speak, so we get the connector down at the bottom. So my camera angle is limited. You can see I'm actually almost really close touching that top nut right there. So a quick and dirty kind of my initial thoughts of this. I like it quite a bit. It does have limited camera angle. It has good camera protection, and it seems to be holding up so far. Tiny Shark, a little 2S cruiser I built here using the Cyclone. I think these are the 2035 props. It's a cruiser. You know, it's a lot of fun. I like little things like this. I take these with me if I'm going somewhere with the kids and I think I might have a flying opportunity, which doesn't happen all that much actually. When we get there, I just end up running out of time. But this is very quiet. So if you want to fly in a place that you want to be very discreet, or maybe you have neighbors who don't like you flying in your backyard, I don't have that problem, then something like this, I think I used the 1102 10,000 kV motors. You could definitely go 1103 and make it more sporty, but with this canopy you are going to be limited in the amount up tilt that you can get with this vehicle, and there's a fair bit of prop in view. Last thing I'll talk about here before we get to the actual drawing, I'm torturing you. I know I'm torturing you. It's not about this frame, but it's about the camera image. I found some camera settings, and I'm wondering if anybody's interested in those. They're not my own. I've been tinkering with these for a while. You know, I told everyone here a couple weeks ago that I was kind of falling out of love because of the low light performance of this camera, and how if you didn't have really good light, it just seemed kind of dingy and dark, and many of you noted that. And toyed with the settings, and I got some settings from I think it's Flying Bear. Yeah, I think it's Flying Bear. He was on, I believe, season 1 of DRL, the Drone Racing League. So if you're interested in those, let me know down in the section down below, and I can show you those. That would be a pretty quick video, you know, maybe 3-4 minutes, something like that. Oh, one more thing. I lied about going to it. We've been talking about tape for the arms, and many of you have given me many great suggestions. I appreciate that. That's why I mention these things, so we can all kind of crowdsource our thoughts on what it might be. And I think we found it. I haven't applied it to a quad just yet, but here we go. This is the stuff I think we're looking for. It's Tessa, and I can link it down below. It did come from Amazon. I found it there, being kind of greedy and wanting it quick. It feels kind of soft, and it seems to have good tack. I think someone indicated they use this in wrapping wires in the automotive industry. It cuts well, and that was something else I was looking at, because I'll probably cut them into strips that are real narrow, because I don't want to be adding weight, you know, so I'll just get an inch or two, maybe less, and maybe a 1/4 inch wide. So I wanted to be able to cut it real easy with a standard pair of scissors. So if you had this as the winner of our little tape crowdsourcing, I think you're the winner, at least for that part. Now let's get to the drawing. All right, here's the video, the URL, and I've plopped that right down into here. I'm going to pick 2 because running enough giveaways, I know that there are a number of people that come by and they leave a comment and they don't ever come back to watch the results video to see if they actually won or not. So that gives us twice the opportunity to find a new home for a Leader120 from FullSpeedRC. This will be coming directly from FullSpeedRC. You will not be getting my used mini crashed Leader120. You'll be getting one from FullSpeed, and then you can use those PIDs that I put on screen, and you can get yourself some Jim Fan Flash props and have an enhanced good time. But okay, no more torture. Let's go. Let's load the comments. Okay, we had 1,043 unique users found. Okay, randomly pick a winner. Gen X FPV. That's awesome, because I suspect Gen X, because you have FPV in your name, you are into quads. So I suspect that you would like to have one. So let's pick one more. Gen X, I'm going to pop open your channel here. Hopefully we'll get to take a look at your content. Well, we don't have anything on here, but we have your subscriptions are open. Oh, here we go. Liked videos. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's see if Gen X is a subscriber. Let's see. It's not a requirement. It was just something I asked you to do just to make things a little bit easier. Let's see. Curry Kitten. Lots of FPV. Zoe. That's great. There's so many channels out there I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I like to look. Arciatic. Seth from Arciatic. He's a really good pilot. Drib 2. Holy cow. Okay, there's Albert and Andy, so maybe we're getting closer to where I might be. Newbie Drone. Oh, there I am. Okay, so he is a subscriber. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead. Just for good measure, Gen X, get in contact with me. Send me an email. Please, or send me a YouTube message. You have your channel already operating and open. I'm going to go ahead and send you a message, and then you can reply back to me and tell me what your email address is. Make sure we don't have any hanky-panky going on, and we can get you a Leader120. Remember, it doesn't come with a receiver, so I would suggest maybe picking up one of those little receivers off of FullSpeed site. I think they're like $10, so you know that's a pretty good match. Keeping it light. Seems the DSMX version I was using worked very well until I had that crash where I ripped off the antenna. So that's, you know, that's crashing. That's quads. One more picker. Okay, I don't know if that's an acronym or name. 1 comment, 0 likes. Got some videos. Oh yeah, I've seen your icon around. Yes. Another quad lover. Great. So you are our second picker, or our second selector, and we can look at the channels that you might have subscriptions to. There's Curry Kitten again. Let's see, I'm going to try to go quickly. There's Albert, Andy, Joshua. Oh, I missed it. There we go. That's awesome. 2 subscribers, people who are obviously into FPV. Maybe I can talk Lewis into giving out 2 of them. If you both get back to me, I'll see what I can do about having Lewis send out 2. So you can both have one. I think you, especially here, you look like you're into micros. That's great too. A man of my own heart. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the flight, even though it wasn't great. I look forward to doing the reviews that I mentioned to you earlier. Congratulations to our 2 winners. I will be sending you a message via YouTube. Please check your YouTube messages and send me an email stating your YouTube channel, and we'll get together and I'll get your information onto Lewis over at Full Speed, and hopefully we can get you both one. Wouldn't that be awesome? All right, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.